Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the What If guy, back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Issei Fell in Love with Triexa. Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Hello, my name is Yumi, and right now I find myself alone in an endless space. More specifically, I'm trapped in Issei. The reason? Simple. God and Lucifer united to seal me away because they feared my power. They blamed me, claiming I was the most dangerous beast, ruthless and heartless. What hurt me even more was the blow to my pride, that I was a man. That stung. But in the end, I allowed myself to be trapped because I always watched humans and demons being happy with their partners, and it filled me with jealousy and rage. I was just looking for a man who would want me for who I am, not for my power or my appearance. I searched for years for a man like that. I could see them from within the seal. I thought it was impossible, no one like that ever existed. Until he appeared. His name is Issei. When I first saw him, I thought he was just a pervert. How disgusting. Surely he would only use me for his own desires. But the more I watched him, the more I felt drawn to him. When he was reincarnated as a demon, I thought he would be arrogant, but I was surprised. Even as a low-class demon, I saw him defeat a phoenix, and as if that wasn't enough, he even fought against a cadre named Kokabeel. I thought, it's obvious he'll become arrogant now. But to my surprise, he didn't. I watched him for quite some time. I was incredibly interested in him. With each passing moment, I felt more attracted to him. He even fought against gods. During that time, I started to accept him as a potential partner, 25% yes and 75% no. But then I noticed something that changed my entire opinion. Every time he surpassed his limits, he did so not out of arrogance or a longing for power, but simply to protect the women he loves. That immediately made me fall for him. The thought that a man like that exists was unimaginable to let slip away. But here was the problem, I couldn't leave. It wasn't just that I couldn't break the seal. If I did, it would be like declaring war, and they would never leave me in peace. I discovered that some individuals wanted to incite a war and destroy the factions. I thought, once I'm out, I'll deal with those troublemakers, and I would try to win Issei over. So I waited. I had no other choice but to watch him, and I was content just seeing him happy. Each day, I fell more in love with him, but then I saw something that almost shattered my resolve. When Issei entered his house and went up to his room, I just hoped he would find some comfort. He had only touched me a little, not much, just enough to spark my interest. But when the door opened, he was in tears. Tears streamed from his appealing brown eyes. I didn't understand why at first, but then I looked closely and saw it. All his girls were with someone who claimed to be his best friend. I didn't care about that at all. I was only worried about how Issei would react. If Issei was alone, everything would be mine, but I still wanted to confront those who made him suffer. Inside, I was both happy and worried. Then I saw Issei take off his engagement ring and throw it to the ground. The sound echoed in the room, and all the girls turned to look at him, frozen like statues. In that moment, I saw his ex-girlfriend, the redhead, trying to explain that it was all just a misunderstanding. But what Issei said surprised me. Issei, misunderstanding. And what are you going to say, that we accidentally fell into this situation? Issei, don't make me laugh. I don't want any of you looking for me, but I suppose that won't be a problem since I wasn't enough to satisfy you. As I can see, goodbye. At that moment, I watched as Issei flew away, and it broke my heart to see him go. I just wanted to hug him, shower him with affection, and let him know he was valued. I blushed as I suggested helping him forget about those distractions. But then I realized they were close to freeing me, so I decided to calm down and wait. In that moment, I noticed Issei asking Mao Zerches for a vacation. I didn't understand why, but he explained what had happened, and the marriage was cancelled. My heart soared with joy, and I almost felt overwhelmed. I watched as Issei went to an island to train for a year, and I assure all the women reading this that he enjoyed it more than you can imagine. He took off his shirt and wore very short breeds because he said they were uncomfortable during training. He chatted with Drake, and their laughter made me happy, knowing that the dragon was helping him immensely. But then what I consider the best day of my life occurred. During one training session, he unleashed so much power that his clothes couldn't withstand it and exploded. I witnessed it firsthand. The Issei. I was so overwhelmed that I almost fainted. It was the most incredible sight I could ever see. Sadly, it never happened again, thankfully I think. I didn't die, but I didn't enjoy it as much afterward. Let's say it was a mixed experience. Then he noticed how the seal was starting to open, and all I could think was, Issei, I'm coming, darling. Tob continued, I hope you like this. I'm uploading this story to clarify my thoughts in love between siblings. I got sidetracked, but at least with this, I won't get confused. Chapter end narrated by Issei. Hello, my name is Issei Hayadu, but that doesn't matter. It never did, at least not to the people I loved. I'll give you some advice, something I learned from my day-to-day life. Never fall head over heels in love. Don't let love blind you to what's happening. I'll say it again. My name is Issei Hayadu, and this is the story of how I stopped believing in love, of how every feeling abandoned me. I always gave everything for my girls. Rias, Akino, Irina, Asia, Zenobia, Kaneko, Kuroka, Ravel, Rosweiss. I always gave everything for them. At least, that's what I thought until that day. I was sent on a mission that was supposed to take a week. But I rushed back for my women so they wouldn't be alone. I arrived in 5 days, thinking, great. I'll get to spend more time with them. But when I walked in, I wasn't prepared for what I saw. As soon as I entered, there was no one there. I thought they were just sleeping since it was late, around noon. I started climbing the stairs quietly, thinking I'd sneak up on them and surprise them. I didn't expect that the surprise would be for me. As soon as I stood in front of the door, I heard something that terrified me to the core. You're going to break me. The first thing that came to mind was that they were in danger, so I prepared for the worst. I was ready to unleash my balance breaker. But nothing I saw was what I expected. All the women I loved were with my friend. I could only think of one thing. Why? But I stayed silent. Apparently, they still hadn't noticed me. I slowly took off my ring and let it drop. But like in all the clichés, they heard me. They froze, staring at me, but then Ria stood up and said, Wait, Issei, it's just a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Huh? And what are you going to say? We accidentally fell on your friend. I couldn't help but scoff. Rias and the others, I didn't want them to look for me, but I suppose that wouldn't be a problem since I wasn't enough to satisfy them. I spread my wings and left. I went to a meadow to clear my mind. When I felt calmer, I headed to the underworld to talk to Xerxes. I asked for a year off to train, but he just replied, but the wedding is in 6 months. I want to cancel my engagement. But why? Ask your sister. Apparently I wasn't enough for her, and that's why they decided to cheat on me with my best friend. I find it hard to believe, but the engagement states that both must be virgins to marry, and if my sister isn't a virgin, it will automatically annul. Well, I grant you that year off, and if you want, you can stay longer. I hope he gets over it, he thought. Thanks, I'm leaving. I'll go to an island. If anything comes up, call me. Just because I don't have a relationship with Rias doesn't mean we can't be friends. Haha, you're right. Good luck, my friend. Goodbye. I headed to an island, and as soon as I arrived, I built a house in a Minecraft style, but after that day, I started training. I took off my clothes and stayed in just my boxers because they bothered me during training. But then I got a huge chill. I stopped thinking about that and trained like a madman. With Drake, we laughed. Who would have thought my best friend would be a dragon? But during one training session, I was wearing clothes to test my new power. When I unleashed it completely, my clothes couldn't handle it. And I felt what the women felt at that moment. But I didn't care much at first because it was just me and Drake. Just among friends. But I felt like someone was watching me. I looked around, but there was no one there. A chill ran down my spine. From that day on, I reinforced my clothes with seals for added protection. That night, I couldn't sleep well. I kept one eye open, unable to fully relax. 9 months passed, and over time, I grew stronger. I shred my armor and unlocked another transformation, but only for emergencies. Just as I lay down to sleep, something strange happened in my dream. I saw a figure. What surprised me the most was what she said. We'll see each other soon, very soon. Issei, who are you, serious? I'm just your woman, your girlfriend. I belong to you. Issei, seriously, talk now or else, serious. Or else what? You can't even reach 3% of my power. But don't worry, I'll soon break free from the seal and be yours, at your mercy. My power belongs to you. My life belongs to you. Issei, stop playing with me. He couldn't finish because he woke up, realizing it had all been a dream. He took a deep breath, but something caught his attention. On the wall in front of him, the following was written. Soon I will be yours and no one else's. We will be together soon, and my power will belong to you. Issei, great, I've caught the attention of a crazy girl. Issei, this has to be a joke, right? Issei, Drake, did you see what happened in my dream? Drake, what dream, partner? You've been awake all night. Issei couldn't believe it, he was awake. Then he thought, Issei, Drake, can you see what's written on the wall? Drake, yes. It says Issei Hayadu's house. Do not enter or the dragon will attack. Issei, seriously, Drake? Drake, partner, what's wrong? That's what it says, you wrote it yourself. Issei, I think I'm going crazy. Just then, he received a call from Xerxes. Issei, hello, speak. Xerxes, I see it quick. The seal of Trixa, the most powerful and cruel beast in the world, is breaking. We need all available reinforcements now. Issei, I'm on my way. TOB continued location. Unknown many beings with white wings, black wings, and bat wings gathered, especially 4 beings radiating an aura of pure power. Issei Hayadu Valley Lucifer Gred Red Office all staring at one spot. In front of them was an organization known for seeking destruction. Before them lay a seal that was about to break, releasing the beast of legends, the most feared, most hated, and most powerful beast. As the seal began to crack, the sky darkened, and an overwhelming power surged. From the crack in the sky, a dragon emerged, said to be as large, if not larger, than Gred Red. As soon as the dragon appeared, the leader of the organization approached and said, Triexa, the beast of the apocalypse, I have freed you. I hope you can be our ally and help us destroy this world, just as you wanted before being sealed. Everyone present remained silent, waiting for the beast's response, their expressions tense. 5 minutes passed without a word. The leader was about to speak again when the beast finally responded. Triexa, and who told you I wanted to destroy this world? Besides, how could I ally with someone so weak? The leader spoke again. Leader, we freed you. You should show us more consideration. After all, we brought you out of that seal. Triexa, 2 things. Don't speak to me so familiarly. When did I ask you to free me? I could have left at any moment. That seal was too weak to contain my power. I let myself be captured because I wanted peace, as you all fear what you cannot control. Fear of power. Every being with power superior to yours will be seen as an enemy. That's why I allowed myself to be captured. You wouldn't leave me alone, trying to convince me to join you. When I rejected you, you took me as an enemy, and I had to defend myself. Everyone fell silent, a single thought crossing their minds, enemy. Leader, excuse me, but I think you're mistaken. You said they see you as an enemy, not an enemy. Triexa, that's another thing that bothers me. God and Lucifer said I was supposedly a man. At that, Gred Red spoke up. Red, wait, are you a woman? Triexa, yes, since the day I was born. Everyone's eyes widened, their jaws dropped, except for one person. Issei, I don't care if you're a woman, just answer one thing. Do you intend to destroy this world or not? Triexa, sounding serious while hiding her nervousness, no. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. I saw him filled with anger and sadness. I just wanted to disappear. The last thing I wanted was for him to see me like this. He left and never came back. To this day, I'm still waiting for him. I only saw him when he departed from the Triexa. I won't foolishly beg him to return or promise to change. Instead, I'll seek his forgiveness and hope he moves on with his life. At least he has one, unlike mine, which feels like a mere existence, submitting to the first person who shows interest. I'm creating this story to portray Rias in a different light, to show what really happened. I hope you enjoy it. This chapter may not follow the typical plot of the most powerful protagonist, but it reveals what happened with Rias. I want to ensure she's not seen as the typical spoiled character, which annoys me. We see a brown-haired guy lying on his bed at the beach, reflecting on everything that has happened lately. Issei narrates, "What's happening? Things are getting crazier first, I get betrayed, then a woman I don't know shows up to confront me. Then the ultimate siscon comes to my rescue and forces me to hold a separation meeting. Now I'm free but I don't know what to do. I feel like my life has lost its meaning. I have power, money, and fame, but now I don't know what to do with my life. I spent my whole life looking out for their well-being, and now that they're gone, I've lost the will to keep living. Some might say I was betrayed, that they changed me, that they don't love me anymore. But think about this. I fell in love with them. I did everything for them, and I spent almost my entire life with them. You can't blame me for feeling lost. The past is done. I have everything I wanted, even at HRM, but it was short-lived. Soon, Drake will be free, but I don't like it because I'll lose a friend. My best friend. He can come out, but he won't be able to stray too far from me. I think that's good. During this time, Yumi hasn't shown up again, and I feel lonely. Maybe she didn't present herself in the best way, but there's something about her that attracts me. Now I'm lying in my room watching TV, trying to pass the time. I wonder if she loves me. I don't think so, but it's nice to dream. After all, when we met, it was mating season, and she might have been carried away by instinct. I'll just take a shower and sleep. I'm tired of this. Time skip, 15 minutes later. Well, now that I'm showered, it's better to get dressed and go to sleep. Tomorrow will be a new day without any problems, I hope. The next morning, Issei can be seen walking to school. What a drag to have to go to that school, but soon this torture will end, and it'll be goodbye forever. As he walked, he didn't notice that people were looking at him strangely. He still didn't realize he had a tattoo of a black dragon on his neck. The whispers from the onlookers were unmistakable. Does he think he's rebellious for getting a tattoo? Look, here comes the pervert. I don't understand how he hasn't been expelled yet. With his enhanced senses, Issei could hear everything they were saying. He stopped in his tracks and said loudly, "Why don't you mind your own business? Do you really have no life, or why are you so focused on me?" After he spoke, there was absolute silence. When Issei realized what he had said, it felt strange to him. He continued walking to his class in silence. In Issei's classroom, he sat in the corner, looking out the window until someone approached him. Murayama asked, "Hayadu, what are you planning?" in a threatening tone. Issei turned his head to look at her. In the past, he would have felt scared, but now he felt nothing. "What do you mean, Mura-san?" "Well, you're acting really strange. Is this some kind of plan to spy on us?" "Don't play the good girl with me. If I wanted to see a naked woman, there's something called prostitutes. With just a little money I can have that, so why would I want to look at a girl's body?" Murayama was taken aback. "How did you? You can go sit down. Your tantrums annoy me," he said with noticeable irritation. She went to her desk, clearly angry and confused. It was the first time Issei had stood up for himself like that. Before the murmurs could start due to the change in Issei, the teacher entered the classroom. "Hello, I wanted to inform you that today we will have a new student." The boys cheered, while Issei thought, "What am I going to have for dinner today?" "Come in." A girl about 17 to 18 years old entered the classroom. She had hair as white as snow and BLD red eyes. When she stood in front of everyone, the boys were captivated. Issei thought, finally, I'll get to eat ramen. "Hello, my name is Yumi Hayadu. I hope we get along well." Everyone stared in shock, exchanging glances between Issei and Yumi. Issei exclaimed, "What? Yumi? What's wrong, darling?" Everyone gasped, "Darling. Excuse me, but what are you two?" Oh, of course, I'm his fiancé, Yumi said with a smile. Issei's thoughts raced. Since when is she my fiancé? And how did she find out where I studied? Everyone exclaimed, pro-fiancé. Time skipped to recess. After that awkward scene, everyone looked at him as if they wanted to kill him, but Issei didn't care. He was sitting under a tree with Yumi on his lap, hugging him around the neck. Why did you say you were my fiancé? Well, it's the truth. I don't understand why you're doing this. If you want political power or something, that's not. He couldn't finish speaking when Yumi silenced him with a warm kiss that conveyed two things: a lot of love and longing. Issei, I love you more than anything in this world. You are everything to me. If those who hurt you were unfaithful, I will be there to heal your pain. I will mend your heart and make you smile again. I will make you love me with all your soul. You're already mine. I marked you as mine. Do you know why? Why? Because I love you more than anything in this world. You love me. Chapter end in the previous chapter. Yumi, the reason for this is that I love you more than anything in this world. You are everything to me. If those who have hurt you were unfaithful, I will be there to heal your pain. I will mend your heart. I will make you smile like before. I will make you love me with all your soul. I will ensure that you only look at me. I will make it so that just my presence excites you. Besides, you are already mine. After all, I marked you as mine. Do you know why? CPY. Yumi, because I love you more than anything in this world. You love me. Let's continue, Yumi. Yes, Issei, I love you more than anything in this world. If you want, I can prove it to you tonight. A blush crept onto her cheeks, and a mischievous look crossed her face as she imagined how she would prove her love. And I don't know if I should believe you after all I've only suffered because of women. He stammered, trying to forget what he had just said, looking away with a slight blush and tears welling up in his eyes. Issei's thoughts. Does she just want to play with me or what? First Rainer, then the Gremory clan, now Triexa. What did I do to deserve this fate? Why do you hate me, Destiny? Yumi, I think you didn't understand. An aura of determination surrounded her as she continued. When I said that I chose you and that I love you, I meant that only I will have you. Do you understand? I see. Why yes. Why can't I be cold with her? Yumi, now I have to explain to you why you are marked. She dispelled her intense aura and wore a small smile. Issei, what do you mean marked? Confusion was evident on his face. Yumi, you see, I need to explain to you what the mark means first. Yumi, there are two types of marks. The first mark occurs when a dragon has a deep connection with a partner. This is called a connection mark. The consequences of the marked couple being unfaithful are severe. The dragon will suffer greatly unless they perform a ritual. The marked couple may start to age more quickly. After being with someone else, they will feel as if they are dying inside and will never be able to connect with anyone again. Both partners suffer equally. If one has the mark, both will feel the pain. Now, the love mark, which is the mark you have. This mark allows one to claim their partner without physical intimacy. It serves as a warning to others that someone is already devoted to you. You still have to choose whether to accept it or not. To accept it, you must open your heart and share moments together, and over time, it can evolve into a connection mark. It can be expedited through intimacy, but doing so opens your mind to your partner. You will share memories and feelings at all times. To cancel this mark, you only need to. Issei found this strange because he didn't want to say how to cancel the mark. So you only need to be with someone else. Like how I marked you. If you end up being with someone else, just forget it. Wait, what? No, of course not. Tell me what would happen if I were with someone else. He grabbed Yumi's hands and pulled her against his chest, hugging her tightly. No, don't worry, it's just a stew. In a hushed voice. What would happen to you, Yumi, if I were with another? What would happen? Well, nothing bad would happen to you. And to you? What would happen to you? Nothing serious, just whispers. Yumi, tell me now what would happen to you. Just whispers. My feelings would disappear and I might die. What do you mean by die? Issei, dragons are powerful beings that instill fear and respect, but like all powerful beings, they have weaknesses. In the case of demons, it's light, and for dragons, it's their feelings. When a dragon is rejected, they slowly begin to fade. It's a shame, but that's life. I marked you because I love you, and if you don't feel the same way about me, or if I can't win your heart, it will be a goodbye forever, because the only one I consider worthy of touching me is you. At that moment, Issei felt warmth in his chest, exactly where Yumi had her head. Yumi, you chose me knowing that if I rejected you, you could die. Yumi, why yes, Issei. As I said before, the only one I consider worthy of touching me is you. Issei, why I love you, thank you. You are the first person to do something like this for me. Issei time skip, afternoon Hayata residence, Issei's room. Yumi, I agreed to let you sleep with me, but is it really necessary to take off your clothes? He felt very flushed as he realized the situation. Now I want you to take me, I want you to have all of me, I want you to make me scream all night, I want my body and soul to belong to you, I want the only one with whom you feel pleasure to be me, are you sure? Before I could respond, a voice echoed in the room. Mysterious voice, how disgusting, the Red Emperor and the dragon are going to be together. I see, who are you? He began to unleash his aura. Mysterious voice, tell me, would you be capable of doing anything for her? Touch her and you die. He looked around while holding Yumi protectively. Mysterious voice, let's hope you don't regret it later. The mysterious figure appeared before them, cloaked and concealed. The couple prepared to attack, but the figure simply snapped their fingers, and Issei vanished along with them. To be continued. I know everyone wanted him to stay in this world, but I will do something different. I will send him to another world, yes, but it won't be a pleasant one. It will be an alternate world where the story will unfold in unexpected ways. Trust me, you will love the plot a lot. Chapter 6. A brown-haired young man lay on a bed, flanked by a redhead and a black-haired girl, both familiar faces. They were nestled together when he suddenly opened his eyes. What the hell? He exclaimed, startled to find Rias and Akino sleeping beside him. His outburst roused the two women. Issei, why are you shouting? Rias mumbled, still groggy. Yeah, Issei, what's with the yelling? Akino added, yawning and rubbing her eyes. What are you doing here? Where's Yumi, and why are you sleeping with me? Issei shot back, his tone sharp. The confusion on Rias and Akino's faces was evident. Issei, who is Yumi? Rias asked, her demeanor shifting as she sensed his anger. We're sleeping with you because we're your partners, and who is Yumi? Akino chimed in, her voice laced with surprise. Issei's expression turned serious. 3 things, you are not my partners. Yumi is my girlfriend. Don't come near me again. His words were filled with anger, and he began to emanate a draconic aura. Rias and Akino were left stunned, tears welling in their eyes. Issei, why are you acting like this? They pleaded in unison, their voices trembling. Don't play innocent with me. You both know exactly what you did, now don't pretend to be clueless. Issei's frustration grew as he realized something strange. He had lost about 50% of his powers. Rias's thoughts raced. Could he have found out that I took his underwear the other day? Akino's mind was in turmoil. Does he know that I spent the whole night with one of his shirts? What do you mean, Issei? We haven't done anything, they said together, their anxiety palpable. Now you're acting innocent, he shouted, his anger boiling over. Please don't let it be that, they thought in unison. I never told you to sleep with Vale, and now you're saying you don't remember. How shameless can you be? What? What are you saying? We're still virgins, idiot. Don't you realize our virginity belongs to you? They exclaimed. Oh please, how shameless can you be? He retorted, incredulous. Sozio, Drake. Did you hear that? Yes, I heard. And I just wanted to say, are you an idiot? What do you mean, Drake? Are you really that stupid? How could they have slept with Vale? If you look at their auras or even breathe in their scent, it's obvious they're virgins. Are you out of your mind? Drake, what the hell is wrong with you? You warned me about their connection to Vale. Tell me if this is some kind of sick joke. I repeat, look at their aura or breathe in their scent, idiot. After that strange conversation, Issei took a deep breath and focused on their scents and auras. To his shock, they were indeed virgins. Akino, Rias, I love you both truly with all my heart, but I will never forgive you for this. You know we love each other and you call us unfaithful, with Valley. Tears streamed down their faces as they ran out of the room, sobbing uncontrollably. I don't understand. I need to talk to them now, he thought, rushing to Akino's room first. Before he reached her door, he caught a glimpse of himself in a hallway mirror and was taken aback. He looked younger, his body unmarked. What? After staring at himself for a moment longer, he hurried to Akino's room. Outside Akino's door, Akino, he called out, but silence answered, broken only by faint sobs. Akino, please open the door, he pleaded, still hearing only the muffled cries. He knocked urgently. Please, Akino, open the door. After several minutes, she finally responded, but not in the way he hoped. Get out. Why are you here? Am I not aware? Get out. Her voice was filled with anguish, and Issei felt a wave of despair wash over him. He had insulted her without reason, and the realization hurt deeply. After wiping away his own tears, he moved to Rias's room. Outside Rias's room, Rias, can we talk? He called, but there was no response, only the sound of her sobs. Rias, please, open the door. I'm begging you. I need to talk to you, he said, his voice breaking. He stood there for several minutes, pleading for her to let him in, only to be met with a heart-wrenching reply. What do you want? She cried, her voice raw with pain. Please, open the door, I'm asking you, he said, desperation creeping into his tone. For what? So you can call me aware. Do you know how I feel about you? How can you say that to me? Go away, I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. Get out. Her words were filled with so much hurt. After that tumultuous morning, Issei made his way downstairs to the empty dining room. As he stepped outside, one thought consumed him. What is happening? Chapter end in the previous chapter. Rias, for what? For you to call me aware. For you to insult me. For you to treat me badly. You know how I feel about you, how can you say that to me? Go away, I don't want to see you, I don't want to hear you. Get out. Her tone revealed deep pain. After a strange morning, Issei made his way down the stairs to the dining room, only to find it empty. He stepped outside, his mind racing with confusion. What is happening? We see our brown-haired protagonist walking toward his house, his thoughts in turmoil. Rias and Akino were supposed to be innocent, yet they seemed to remember nothing. The worst part was that he didn't know how to resolve this. Issei, did I do something wrong? What were you expecting? You practically called your women worse. Drake's voice echoed in his mind, emphasizing the word, women. But I don't understand, Drake. Do you really not remember anything? Do you not remember what they did to me? Don't you remember what we went through? Don't you remember Yumi? Issei questioned, feeling lost and desperate. Was it all just a dream? Was Yumi never real? Tears began to fall as he recalled her words. Flashback. Why is Issei, the only one I consider worthy of touching me is you? Issei, now I want you to take me, I want you to have all of me, I want you to make me scream all night, I want my body and soul to belong to you, I want the only one you feel pleasure with to be me. End of flashback. No, he didn't want to believe that. He knew she was real, but what if she wasn't? Flashback. Akino, get out. Why are you here? Am I not supposed to be aware? Get out. Rias, for what? For you to call me aware. For you to insult me. For you to treat me badly. You know how I feel about you, how can you say that to me? Go away, I don't want to see you, I don't want to hear you. Get out. End of flashback. I don't know what to think, I want to believe that Yumi is real but Rias and Akino are innocent. There's no spell to make someone a virgin again, and if it were an illusion, I would feel it immediately. I guess only time will tell, it will give me the answers I so desperately crave. Once Issei finished his internal debate, he found himself in front of his house and decided to go inside, only to be met with a surprise. As soon as he entered, he saw Rias and Aquino crying on the couch, comforted by Kaneko, Irina, Zenobia, Rosweiss, and Asia. When he walked in, all eyes turned to him, some filled with pity, others with anger. Asia, Issei-san, why did you say that about Rias-sama and Aquino-senpai? Her voice trembled with hurt. Kaneko, pervert, and on top of that, you play with the hearts of women. Her tone was neutral, but tears glistened in her eyes. Rosweiss, Issei-san, we need to talk seriously about your behavior. Disappointment was evident in her voice. Irina and Zenobia remained silent, holding Rias and Aquino close. Issei thought, wait, is this a joke? They're all innocent. The first can't believe it. Was it all a dream? Was it all my imagination? Drake. Buddy, I don't know what's going on with you, but you know Rias would never cheat on you and neither would Aquino. Wake up before it's too late and you lose everything over a bad dream. Issei thought, you're right, I need to stop thinking about that. The proof is right in front of me. How could they be unfaithful? It's time to fix everything, and this time, I won't be a prince who cries or just thinks about Brstis. Issei, Rias, Aquino, I know I said something very, he couldn't finish as they both shouted at him. Rias and Aquino, and why did you do it? Do you know how much we love you and you still say that? Their anger was palpable. Issei, I'm sorry, I truly regret it. I love you more than my life, but this morning I had a really bad nightmare. Tears began to flow as he spoke. I really am. I'm sorry, it's just that I couldn't take it when I saw you with Valley when you left me. I'm sorry. His voice faded to a whisper, tears streaming down his face. Issei, please forgive me, I'm sorry. Seeing his distress, the Gremory girls rushed to hug him. All. It's okay, Issei, we forgive you, just please trust us, we would never hurt you. Once that was done, Kaneko had to leave to attend to some matters. Irina was called to heaven by Michael. Rosweiss was summoned by Odin. Zenobia went off to find Kiba to train. Asia had to leave for school. And so, only Issei remained with Rias and Aquino. Issei, girls, he said, feeling tired. Aquino and Rias, yes, Issei. Though still a bit hurt, they were ready to move on. Issei, it's getting late, shall we go to sleep? His tone reflected his weariness. Rias, yes, let's. Tomorrow comes quickly, remember we have to discuss the wedding, Issei. She smiled, happy to be with him again. After that, Issei and his partners went to bed. Before they could fall asleep, Aquino playfully climbed on top of Issei. Aquino, hey Issei, you said you dreamed of another man making us his, right? Issei, Aquino, I really can't deal with that right now, please, it still hurts. Rias, Aquino, please stop, that's already in the past. She was interrupted as Aquino silenced her. Aquino, yes, but Issei, you said he made us his. Don't you think the best way to avoid that would be for you to mark us now and forever? Issei, Aquino, to be honest, I want to make you scream my name. You and Rias, I just want to see you begging me to continue, but I'm holding back. Aquino, I have no problem with that, and you, Rias? Rias, well, I wouldn't mind after all. Whispers, if it's Issei, I wouldn't mind if he took me now. Upon hearing those words, Issei spoke up. Issei, are you sure? Once I start I won't stop. Aquino and Rias, yes, take us, Issei. With that, Issei lunged at them, starting to remove their clothes. To be continued. What will happen if Issei faces new challenges? What will become of Yumi? Will Issei finally find happiness? Sure. Here's the clean text. Well, the next chapter will be one of the most important ones. Besides, there's not much time left before the series ends. In the previous chapter, Rias, well, I wouldn't mind after all, if it's I wouldn't mind him taking me now. Upon hearing those words, our brown-haired friend only said a few things. Are you sure? Once I start I won't stop. Aquino, Rias, then take us. After those words, the brown-haired guy lunged at them, starting to remove their clothes. Let's continue. He was slowly taking off Aquino's clothes while kissing her neck, causing her to let out soft gasps, and he would have kept going if not for at that moment, images and visions of him with Yumi began flooding his mind. Flashback. Issei, now I want you to take me, I want you to have all of me, I want you to make me scream all night, I want my body and soul to belong to you, I want the only one you feel pleasure with to be me, Yumi. The reason for this is that I love you more than anything in this world, you are everything to me, if anyone were to hurt you I will be there to heal your pain, I will mend your heart, I will make you smile again like before, I will make you love me with all your soul, I will make it so that you only look at me, I will make it so that you only feel excitement with my body, I will make it so that you can only feel pleasure with my body, besides you are already mine, after all I marked you as mine, do you know why? Issei, Py. Yumi, because I love you more than anything in this world. Yumi, I don't understand, your mouth says one thing, but my little caramel candy seems to enjoy it. Issei, it's not yours. Yumi stops to put up a barrier around the island to unleash all her power at once. After that, she stands up and approaches the brown-haired guy, who was intimidated by such power, and says, "You are mine. If any other woman touches you, say goodbye to this world." End of flashback. Akino and Ria saw how I suddenly stopped, he wasn't continuing, but tears began to well up in his eyes. This worried them, and they immediately asked Akino, "Are you okay? You're crying, if Issei did something wrong, just tell me, okay?" She said in a very worried tone. Rias, "Yes, Issei, if something is wrong, just tell us, and we will do everything possible to help you remember that we love you." She said in the same tone as Akino. "Issei, yeah, it's just nothing, give me a second, okay? I'll go to the bathroom and then we can continue." After those words, the brown-haired guy went to the private bathroom in his room and stood in front of the mirror as his thoughts. I don't understand, it was just a dream, but it felt so real. At that moment, he looked in the mirror and noticed that he didn't have the mark. He realized that the black dragon was no longer there. It was just a dream, the mark can't be removed by anything until the time comes to accept or reject. That is the last test I needed, or so he thought, until Issei thinking, what is that? When he looked in the mirror, he noticed that his skin was a bit paler than usual right in the area where the mark should be, and he began to remember everything, the time he spent with Yumi when the Gremmeries turned their backs on him, Yumi's smile when she confessed to him when she wanted them to be together, and then he didn't know why, but he started scratching that area on his neck where the mark should be, and he would have kept going. But Akino began to speak from the other side of the door. "Akino, Issei, are you ready to continue?" She said while opening the door, but for some reason, started scratching harder. "Akino, Issei, what are you doing? Stop, you're going to hurt yourself." He didn't stop, he just scratched harder. Issei thinking, "Yumi, my light, my life, no, I don't believe you're fake." The more he remembered, the more he scratched until blood began to flow. "Akino, stop, you're hurting yourself." She tried to get closer, but she couldn't. Issei created a barrier around himself. Issei thinking, "Yumi," he scratched harder and bled even more. "Yumi." He didn't stop, it hurt, his neck burned, but he didn't stop. "Yumi," he continued for a few more minutes until he saw something. He saw it, he saw the mark that Yumi left him. "I thinking, this mark," he said while touching the mark, "a very black dragon, blacker than the night itself, a dragon so appealing that you would be mesmerized, a mark that radiated power." And then, Issei realized he only loves Yumi when he stopped admiring the mark. He turned to look at Akino. "Akino, ha ha." She laughed maniacally. "I thought that with that spell, it would be more than enough to hide that mark." With his hair covering his eyes and in a low voice, he said, "Where is Yumi?" Unleashing all his power at once. "Akino, haha, almost worked, don't you think? I asked you, are you sure you love Yumi? And still, even when you thought it was all a dream, you still remembered her." "Issei, even though I tried to forget her, I can't, after all I love her, even my body and mind only remembered her when I was about to be with others, even when I tried to convince myself that it wasn't real, still my heart belongs to her, and I will never be able to think of another woman other than Yumi." "Akino, ha ha ha, I wish I had made your decision." When Akino said that, she began to surround herself with black smoke, revealing Issei. But this Issei had black hair. For the main Issei, I will refer to him as Issei, and for the other one I will call him Black. Issei, but how? Black, surprised. Issei, well, a little now, just tell me one thing, where am I in an illusion? Black, haha, no. Issei, we are in another world, a dead world. Upon that revelation, the brown-haired guy fell silent until he gathered the courage to ask Issei, I don't understand, what do you mean a dead world? Black, Issei, let me explain, each world is like a balance, it will always have equilibrium, the weights will always be the same on both sides. Now if you put an ice cube on one and the balance will tilt towards the side where the ice cube is. With that said, let me know if you need any further assistance. Imagine the world as a scale. He couldn't finish because the brown-haired guy interrupted him. Issei, when someone makes decisions, you put more weight on one side than the other. Black? Correct. He smiled and gave a thumbs up. Now imagine this. What if instead of beating Razor when he was about to marry Rias, you had lost? The story wouldn't be the same. It always changes. Now, in this case, what would have happened if you had slept with Rias and Aquino? He asked, looking at Issei. She could have died and lost her feelings. Black? Correct. He didn't finish as the brown-haired guy interrupted him again. Issei, is that what happened to you? Black, what do you mean? He replied with feigned doubt. Issei, yes, that's why you asked me when we met if I truly love her. That's why you asked if I would give everything for her, because you couldn't. You were so sure I would fall that I would do it like you did, he responded with a serious look. Black, wow, of all the millions of Isseis that exist, you're unique among them. Haha, you were right when you said I couldn't. I couldn't stay with Yumi, but unlike you, my situation was very different. Unlike you, Yumi didn't come to save me. She came as just another woman to torture me. Over time, we fell in love, and she helped me escape. And just when I thought we would have an appealing life, filled with peace and love, I found out she was pregnant. At first, I was happy, or at least I thought I was, until I found out it wasn't mine. I fell into despair. I died, but I couldn't leave in peace. I couldn't go to hell or heaven. Something held me back. So I just started descending from dimension to dimension, and it was always the same. Everyone betrays us, and we die alone. No matter what we do, we're destined for suffering. But then I saw you. Even though you were betrayed, you moved forward. You didn't need anyone's support. But now you're tied to Yumi. When she betrayed you, don't say I didn't warn you, Black said with a very serious expression. Issei, you're mistaken. Black, in what way, according to you? Me, who has lived for many years and traveled through many dimensions, mistaken before you? Issei, yes, you're wrong. At those words, Black looked confused and paid attention. You said it yourself, worlds are like a scale. It depends on which side you lean toward, that's how the world will be. Well, I lean toward Yumi and I'll stay by her side, he said firmly. Black, haha, in all this time, no one has ever responded like that. You're truly unique. Let's hope everything goes as you say. Good luck, Yate. Black, what happened? Say it before I leave and leave you at home. Issei, just tell me two things. First, exactly where am I? And second, what will you do now? Black, to answer your first question, you're in a world that has been extinguished. In this world, when the Trixa was unleashed, you weren't there and the Trixa was controlled. Wait, if it was extinguished, what did I live through? He asked, intrigued to know what he had experienced. Black, in that world, I rewound time a year before the Trixa incident. What you lived through was what the Issei of that world experienced before being betrayed. And now for your second question, I will die. And before you ask why or something similar, I just wanted to see someone who wouldn't give up. All the Isseis I've known always succumb to evil, to despair, to revenge, but you just kept moving forward. That's all I wanted to see, to know that it wouldn't always be the same. Well, good luck with Yumi. Oh, and what felt like 3 days for you only passed as 1 hour over there. Good luck, good luck. I hope you change destiny. I hope you can break this curse. I hope you can free us from the curse of him. Tob continued, well, that's the plot. I haven't seen it anywhere, so don't mess with me. I spent about 7 hours thinking about it because I wanted something original. And now, who is he? What curse is he talking about? And why was he cursed? What did he do to get the curse? What will happen to Issei and Yumi? The next chapter will be the last of this season. If you want to know about him, I recommend you follow me and not miss the stories I'll publish because I might eventually release the second season, or maybe I'll release the second season of Love Between Siblings. No one knows, only time will tell. Bye bye. Oh, and in the final chapter, that is, the next one, Lemon. She doesn't love you. Shorty. Chapter end. Narrated by Yumi. I don't understand, that person appeared and took Issei away. It's been about 2 hours and I can't feel anything. His scent, his aura, his power, nothing. I don't feel anything. I searched in heaven, hell, and everywhere else. I don't know where else to look. Now I'm desperate. What if he never comes back? What if I lose him? But the reason for my fear is that I felt the mark I placed on him starting to fade. Wait, now I feel it stronger. It's getting stronger with each passing moment. But I don't understand. It doesn't let me know his location. And if the mark lets me know where he is, I didn't say anything because I feel it would be like violating his privacy. I found him. His scent, his aura, he's at home. I didn't waste a second and was already flying at maximum speed from France to our home. I'm standing in front of the door, almost kicking it down. Luckily, I managed to hold myself back. Now we just need to fix the doorknob. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. The end. I hope you enjoyed the finale of Season 1.